To those who married their first boyfriend girlfriend, what made you decide they were the one despite never being with anyone else? I guess you can say my wife was my first and only serious relationship. By the time I'd asked her out, I'd already known her for 5 or 6 years. I really fell for her after she accepted my faults. I know I'm not easy to be around. I'm impulsive toward things I want to do. I'm arrogant in certain things. She accepted all of that. Meanwhile, she told me about her faults. There are not many, but one big one is staying at home is extremely painful to her. I guess that's why we are fit for each other. I can be impulsive and tell her I wanna go to the Grand Tetons at 3 AM. And at 4 AM we are on our way. She's happy she's not at home. I'm happy I can go adventure. She's been my best friend from the moment we became friends. I could tell very early on that she was a gentle and loving person who cares for people out of the good of her heart. She accepts me for who I am and all my weirdness, and we both embrace each other's flaws. She's always inspired me to be a better person in a way no one else has. She may be my first and only, but I've seen enough unhealthy, toxic, and abusive relationships secondhand to know that a woman like my wife comes along once in a lifetime, and I didn't want to let her pass me by. Because he makes me the best version of me. We also have gone through so many hard times and we got through them stronger. Also, not for nothing, but we share a significant proportion of our SSNs. The government thought we were meant to be, so who are we to fight that fate? She just was. I don't know how to explain it. We were friends for a couple of months beforehand. Both played trombone and had a similar sense of humor. And she wanted to include me in stuff. I liked her as a person. Appreciated her kindness and wit and beauty. And had a crush. She kissed me one night. And the world changed. Spent a lot of time talking with her. Fell full on in love. And kept finding more and more things to love about her. That was a bit over 17 years ago. And we've been married for the last 13. People still call us cute. And it's occasionally hilarious to correct people that think we're newlyweds or only married for 1 or 2 years. We support each other in ways I'd never thought possible. And really understand and know each other on an intuitive level. It's a wonderful experience. My writing might be flat. My feelings aren't. I met my husband in 1st grade. Started dating when we were 14. And got married at 19. This May makes 9 years married. Anyway. We just always clicked with each other and got along very well. Instead of growing apart like most kids do. We grew together. He's a very kind man who has always been there for me. Even as teenagers. We never had a reason to break up because we got along so well. To this day. He is my very best friend. I can't imagine anyone better than him. You know how you went with either an iPhone or an Android as your first phone. And pretty much stuck by it ever since? And even though you never tried the other phone, you still fanboy your own phone choice? Because it does everything you need it to do and you think it looks damn good and you're comfortable with it? Yep. Except my ex-fiancée registered signee. After 9 years. On a whim. Decided she wanted to try an iPhone instead. She seems happy with it. Thank God we never signed the phone contract. Why play again when you've already won? She's really cool. I'm pretty weird and she's perfectly fine with that. We've been together for a little over 14 years. Survived HS and college together. She was only one bridge away. Went to grad school together, though in different programs. And now work in the same profession, though at different schools. There's no one else I'd want to do all of this with. I had gone on a couple first dates before. But never wanted to commit to continue dating anyone because it was just not worth the anxiety it caused. So I met my, now, husband at work. Our first date lasted 36 hours. We stayed up all night in my apartment after our first date watching comedy specials and snuggling. My skittish cat was all over him too and I knew I was gonna keep this guy. I've had this weird thing my whole life where I just don't like to be touched or touch anyone. Brief hugs are tolerable. But someone touching my arm or accidentally brushing by me would really ruin my day and make me anxious. My own mother can throw me into a full-blown panic attack sometimes. I have never had that reaction with my husband. I only ever feel safe and comfortable in his arms, and I always find myself absent-mindedly rubbing his back, arms, or running my fingers through his hair. My so said it was the moment that I drove him 2 hours to go to a Warhammer cafe in Dallas despite not having a personal interest, and then staying there until it closed while he geeked out and bought stuff. He wasn't my first boyfriend, but I was his first girlfriend. The day after we went to the cafe, I surprised him at home with a steak dinner for Valentine's Day. He surprised me with a ring. Getting married next year. As someone in her first serious relationship, 22, I'm loving all of these wonderful stories. Gives me hope for me and my sweet guy. Cheers to you all. He was and is everything I ever wanted in a partner. Just sitting in the same room with him lifts my spirits. We don't need to talk or interact for me to just feel better, though talking and interacting is also awesome. Being in his presence is like being in a warm, loving glow. I have never had a desire to be with anyone else after him. He's the first and only. I don't see why anyone would need to compare or shop around after finding the perfect mate, and he is perfect for me. Social anxiety. We somehow started just fooling around with each other, but it turned into a relationship, so we never really dated. The mere thought of dating, being rejected, needing to decide was enough for both of us not to call it quits when things don't go smoothly. Slowly we also realized that isn't really the reason we're together, and we really like each other. Been together for 12 years now and we love each other like crazy. We started dating in high school. First BFGF. First kiss. First everything. In 3 months we will celebrate 11 years married. But we have been together for 17 years. I love our friendship. He is my best friend. We are very different people, and work hard to always take care of each other. I love that I don't have any jealousy, or baby mama daddy drama, or ex-GFBF craziness. Our bedroom is active and on fire, even with 2 kids. I adore him and can't wait to reach my life goal of being little old people together. He also snores. Multiple reasons. 1. When we first met, I naturally gravitated towards him and he gravitated towards me despite being with people I knew better and being very introverted and shy. 2. I was poor growing up, so when we went out with friends to Taco Bell on the first day we met, I didn't buy anything. He gave me his nachos because he was full. My husband is a big guy who doesn't get full easily. 3. He is a sweet guy who didn't pressure me into a relationship at all. We met in 2008 but didn't start officially dating until 2012. 4. His birthday is the 19th of August. If you calculate 9 months and 1 day later, a typical average of human gestation, that day is the 20th of May, which is my birthday. We joke that I was literally made for him. There are so many other little things, but these stand out to me as special and unique. I'm not married yet, but I wanna give my 2 cents. Nearly finished university now, and I've been dating my current girlfriend for about 7 years now. I couldn't even really tell you why we've been together so long. But if I had to give a reason, it'd probably be that we're best friends. We've never had fights that we could work through. We both don't know what the hell's going on with becoming adults, so we're there for each other. We have different interests, but not so vastly different that we're incompatible. I like cars. She doesn't know a Kia from a Ford, but she'll still occasionally come out to car meets with my group. She's never been on snowmobiles or quads or the like, so I take her for rides. I've never been to a concert, so she brought me to one. I guess a big reason we're together still is that we're best friends learning how to get through life together. First serious relationship. It felt right, and why would I even want to change it? Married 6+ years. For me, I had kind of chased another girl around for maybe a year or 2. After that time I realized she and I just didn't have the same priorities and goals in life. I was 17, she was 19. After she went to school I had met another girl and she really liked me for who I was and didn't make me try to change who I was and never stupidly played hard to get while making self-destructive choices in her life. The more we hung out the closer we got, and then once we started dating I just kind of knew after the first month this was who I would be with. Sounds super cliche but it's true. We've been together 9 years and married for 5 with a lot more on the horizon. If you're picking your so based on how they compare to the other people you've been with, you'll eventually forget why you made that choice. This thread was a mistake to read before going to bed alone. 1 week after my first boyfriend and love dumped me. I met my husband in college and we just clicked right away. It was an actual love at first sight situation. From there, nothing came along to indicate we should break up. It's kinda that simple. If it ain't broke, marry it. I just got lucky right out of the gate. My first boyfriend wasn't a psychopath and I was in a place emotionally to be accepting of a serious relationship. I think one of the benefits to finding the one so early is that, since you're not done growing, the two of you can grow together. It's like a retirement account. We put the work in early, so it's paying off more. I'm not bothered by the idea that I didn't get my heart broken a bunch and I didn't have to deal with Tinder. I can tolerate her being around for long periods and more importantly, she can tolerate me being around for long periods. Besides, she's totally out of my league and there's no way I can get anyone better than her, lol. And she thinks the same about me. I think this is an underrated point. My wife and I were on vacation pre-kids. But post being together 10 years or so, we're on a plane together, then the hostel, then a train, then the beach, etc. After a week or so we realized we had been together literally every waking moment for a long time. I'm sure there are a lot of great relationships that need more space than we do. But I think it's a good sign for long-term success if you can be around each other for long amounts of time without needing an escape. This was in the early 2000s when people would still throw around gay slurs as insults. I was in high school and, being the introvert that I was, holed myself up in the library. Back then he was an acquaintance and happened to be walking by. Scared the shit out of me when he saw what I was drawing. Yaoi. Instead of reacting the usual manner, "You. Gross. etc." he said, "Whoa. That's some really nice art. Robin's my favorite superhero." Right then I knew he was the one because my art had been of Robin and Beast Boy furiously making out. He wasn't my first BF but the first person I slept with. He's been by my side through a lot of tough times. We broke up and slept with different people and he struggled through the pain of repairing the damage. He was there when my mom passed away. He stood by me when I was an absolute bitch. And the connection is still super strong. Met at 15. Married at 29. We are best friends. And I knew he would always love me and cherish me and treat me well. Everything else is a bonus. Extra bonus points for his hilarious sense of humor. Life can suck but a well-timed joke or a happy smile can make a world of difference. She's a very good person. My dad told me not to let her go. Our friendship was pretty effortless. The only argument for letting her go was the fact that I was young, 19, and hadn't experienced other people. She went to school in another state. We kept it going. Perhaps if either of us had met someone, we would have naturally broken up. But we didn't. We rejoined. Then did the long distance thing again. Then moved in together. Grew together. By the time we were married, we'd been together for 7 years. Marriage changed nothing. The strength of our bond grew over time. It wasn't like we were destined to be together forever at 19. But after years of really enjoying each other, you ask yourself, why wouldn't you stay together? We just got married in July but we've been together for 8 years altogether. We dated in high school but I broke up with him. Twice. He never lets me forget that either. He makes me happy and that's what I wanted from a relationship. There is something special about growing up and learning to love someone else and having that person teach you how to love yourself as well. Robin Williams' line in Good Will Hunting really sums up my experience. I got regrets. But I don't regret a single day spent with her. I could have gotten with a lot of other girls. Which fills me with regret a lot of times. We started dating in high school and just kind of stuck together. It's not all romantic and squishy. But there was just never a reason not to split up. So we didn't. There was no moment of OMG. He's the one, just hey. You make me happy and I like your face. If you feel the same way, we should see how long we can keep this going and then Welsh tea. I guess we'll get the government involved now when he joined the army and we got married. This year will be 19 years of just keeping this going and 15 years of marriage. I still like his face. I am 50 and my wife is 49. We met when we were 10 and married at 18. I can be a fairly high-strung guy. I've always had some form of anxiety. The first time I met her I instantly noticed I wasn't jittery or anxious. When she left, the anxiety and jitters returned. I was in 7th grade. Sitting in math class and was having a horrible day. In the midst of my constant frustration I look up and she in the hallway waving me out. I get my helpers. We walk around the blind corner and she kissed me for the first time. I was shocked and she said, "I've been waiting for the perfect time." I don't know why, but right now felt like the perfect time. She skipped back to class. After school I told her I was going to marry her because she makes me happy. Edit. Wife says thank you for the gold and she plans to keep it all to herself. He was the first non-family member that saw me have a panic attack and not freak out. That was a big thing for me. Plus he literally is my best friend. Best friends first. Husband and wife second.